Hey guys, Dr. Charlie here. I'm just sitting here working today, just doing some computer work, and the Lord really laid it on my heart that somebody needs to hear this. Many years ago, over a quarter of a century ago, I was in a bad situation. I was in the middle of a divorce, found out I was pregnant. I was angry at God. I felt like I had done all the right things. I had been a good girl. I had been raised in church, but I really didn't have a relationship with the Lord. And I was just in a bad place. I was about to be a single mom, and that had never been on my radar. It had never been on my radar that I was going to have to live life as a single mom. I was going to have to balance a career, and I was going to have to balance parenthood. And I was hormonal, and I was all the things. I was really angry at the way my life was turning out. I was 25 years old. And I remember that I had court the next day. I came home from work. I had court the next day. I had never been to court. I had never even had a traffic ticket. And so I was very scared and was very angry. And I wasn't in a great state of mind. And I sat down in my living room in that little apartment in Tomball, Texas, and I had a very real conversation with God. And you might be thinking, oh, I just poured my heart out and we had this great little chat. No. Do you know what I did? I cussed God out. That's right. All the words, all the profanity, all of the bitterness, all of the anger. I was shaking my fist at heaven, and I was telling God exactly what I thought of him and how awful he was and how he'd let me down. And then I got really ugly. I got sarcastic and snarky, and I went and I pulled out my Bible. That's right, I did actually have a Bible. It was just on the bottom shelf in the bedroom gathering dust because it never got opened. It never got used. And I said, you know what? If you're such a good God, and if you know all things, and you think you've got the solution to everything, I want you to prove it. And I didn't think he could. And I didn't think he cared. And I slammed that Bible down on my little kitchen table in that apartment, and I slapped it open. And I looked down, and it was Exodus 14:14. And it said, the Lord will fight for you, and you will remain at peace. I can hardly talk about it now without being emotional. I had cussed him. I had denounced him. I had put his name through the mud. I had taken all of my anger and all my disappointment and all my hormones out on him. And he chose to love me anyway. He met me right where I was at. Right where I was at. And he said, you know what? I'm going to fight for you anyway. And I'm just going to let all that anger move into peace. I'm going to let you be at peace. And I will do all the dirty work for you. It took me to my knees, and it changed my life. And 25 years later, here I am in full-time ministry, teaching people how to heal, because he started by healing me. He started by meeting me in a dark, lonely, scary place where I would take his name in vain, and I would cuss him and scream at him and accuse him of everything that I was guilty of and he loved me anyway. If that is a God that you want, if that is a God that you want to serve, if that's the kind of love that you need in your life, would you please reach out to me? You can reach me at info@active-faith.com. My name is Charli, and I would love to talk to you about that. He is the same God today that he was then. He's the same God today he was from the very beginning. And he will love you in your mess, and he will help you heal, and he will help you live a life to fullness that you cannot imagine, with joy and peace that you cannot imagine. This is Dr. Charli, and that's my soul bite for today.